In this video we will teach you how to use Copilot for ALM's advanced tools for cross-project configuration comparison and policy checking. Let's begin by authenticating to our ALM server. It's a good idea to maximize your window so that you can better view the comparison results. Let's start with the cross-project user comparison. Click the Select Projects button and choose the ALM projects you want to compare. Click the Run Comparison button and wait for processing to complete. The results will be displayed in a separate tab. This report shows us which users are mapped to each ALM project. The report can also be exported to Microsoft Excel for sharing with other stakeholders or additional reporting. Now let's perform the same comparison at the group level. As before, use the Select Projects button to make your project selections, and then click the Run Comparison button. This report is helpful to compare which groups exist in each project. The report can also be exported to Microsoft Excel. Now let's compare the user mappings between projects. This report is helpful for administrators to ensure consistency in group mapping between projects, which creates a reliable, consistent user experience and workflow for the user. Here we can clearly see that some users have different group assignments between ALM projects. This could lead to conflicts and different user experiences depending on how workflows and other rules are implemented. The group mapping report will show the module mappings between ALM projects. Module mapping is important from a user experience and information security standpoint. Here we can see that the QA Manager custom ALM groups module mappings are optimized in one project, but not another. Controlling group permissions and maintaining consistency without conflicts can be a challenge. Let's start by choosing our ALM projects from the project selection window. Next, let's select which permissions we want to compare. In this example, we only want to compare remove or delete permissions across ALM projects. This cross-project report clearly shows which groups have delete permissions for all entities. We can use the filter to isolate the bug entity, or export to Microsoft Excel if required. The Group Actions Permission report lets us compare permissions for other actions that are not specifically entity-related. Here, we select the specific actions we want to report on and compare. Let's use the search function to locate the Excel-related actions. For performance and stability reasons, we do not recommend selecting all actions, especially if comparing across many ALM projects. As before, the report shows the groups that can perform the associated actions. Note that the checkboxes in this report are tri-state. If a group does not exist in an ALM project, its checkbox will be neither on or off. The lists comparison report will tell us whether the lists are the same between ALM projects. Note that this report does not compare list content, only the list names. Finally, the Entities Comparison report will compare entity fields between ALM projects. Start by choosing your ALM projects, and then use the Entity Selection window to choose the entities that you want to compare. This report will show the standard and user-defined entity fields in each ALM project and its associated label. Note that this report does not compare field types or field properties. The Advanced Tools module also features policy checking reports. These reports are designed to quickly identify group and permissions conflicts. As an example, here we will run a report to check whether users are mapped to multiple groups. Such a mapping may be problematic if groups have conflicting permissions or workflows and should be avoided. The results show whether user mappings are compliant with the policy. According to the legend below, we have 4 users who fail this policy. As proof, and to see which mappings are conflicting, we can open the user mapping report from before and run a comparison. This report corroborates the result from the user policy report. The group policy report has similar functionality, but examines group permission conflicts. A good example is locating groups that have been given permissions to delete defects when they are not the defect owner. Here we can see the custom groups that have this conflict. Any user in these groups would be able to delete someone else's defects, which would be unacceptable. And although not necessary, the results of this group policy can be confirmed by running an entity permission comparison report on the bug entity. This completes the walkthrough of the Advanced Tools module in Copilot for ALM. Thank you for watching.